but please let's move on. Because later tonight, our latest hotline documentary titled Voices in the Head will air on this channel. And producer of the piece, Richard Kwejunyakon, will be joining us on the show and telling us about what the whole documentary is about. But let's bring you a preview.
A hacksaw blade cuts through a chain that held the legs of over 30 people here at the Jesus Divine Temple Prayer Camp at Nyankumasi Ahinkro in the central region of Ghana. They've been here for years. The church is sited at the heart of a big forest. Most of the patients were chained to a tree by the ankle. They were not supposed to be close to the regular worshippers, so that their point of confinement must be several meters away from the central place of worship. Hospital records show many of them are suffering from schizophrenia. But at this center, each of the inmates is considered possessed by the spirits.
Keep mute. Famam. No. Like on how? This is how they say I'm crazy. So me, I'm frank and free. I don't have a father. My father has passed away. Mori, please, this is not the first time. You know, my wife is from Mori. I'm a stranger. I've worked, and my mother is from a building at Mori Johnson, which he has passed away. And my father.
Kwesa Buaje is one of the men who've been in chains for years. He looks unkempt. His trousers and shirts have not been washed for years.
I collected my state pension pay, which is about 200. I spent it on my children and maybe 50 million for a car so that I can keep the home going. The money got lost in the room, so I suspected my wife and children. I was sitting in my sitting room, a policeman. I should come.
So police people blocked you?
Yes, from Mori.
Policemen?
How? How? This is how they say I'm crazy. So me, I'm frank and free. I don't have a father. My father has passed away.
Kwesa Buaji narrates how he ended up being tied to the tree. On a recent visit by the chief psychiatrist, some of the people tied to the trees glared, while others slept or muttered to themselves. A few wobbled and made wild gestures, their cries piercing the still air. It was like a bird out of a fowler's snare when the team arrived to remove the shackles from his legs.
There were nights I could not sleep. I would shiver throughout, and my mom was by me, you know, and she goes to church. There will be a part of her that believes it's spiritual, so she will try to solve the problem. And there was men of God that came to our aid that offered these things, you know, let her drink this, something in a Baltic bottle with so many things inside. I don't know if it's, you know, you get to a point, you know, you've studied biology, you know, at least you should know the components of what you are taking inside, and you do not know. I was crazy at that time, but once in a while I come to my consciousness and I said, I shouldn't be drinking this. It smells nasty, it tastes nasty, and I'm supposed to take them.
And this, that's the premiere of the full documentary. Voices in the Head will be premiering later this evening on the channel. And of course, the producer of the piece is Richard Kwejonyako. He's joining us via Skype. Good morning to you, Richard. Richard, good morning. Richard, good morning. Well, good morning to you, Richard.
Good morning.
Now, appropriately, well, we know that we have objectives for which we put together some of these pieces, but what really would be the core issues you found out when trying to investigate the piece?
Well, the core issues are, one, that there are prayer camps that have been set up in this country that chain people. And so some people have been chained for close to 10 years. They've been under the vagaries of the weather. If it rains, they are in the rain. If the sun is up high in the sky, they are there. And then, if they would want to defecate, they defecate on themselves. They urinate and that's where they eat. And so it is such an appalling condition that people find themselves. That the fact that these people, are mentally challenged doesn't mean that their rights should be violated. And so if you also go to
Hello, Richard. Well, we seem to be having difficulty with the lines, and so, well, we'll try and re-establish that. But again, we know that Richard Kwejonyako has put together this great documentary, Voices in the Head, and it's going to premiere this evening on the JoyNews channel. But let's move on. Mama V.
Yeah, I was just interested. It would be good to get Richard back right on so we can speak to her about at least the excerpts that we played, the lady who was sharing her personal story. Very, very interesting. I wonder what her particular situation was. It will be good to find out from Richard Kwejonyako. But don't miss it. It's later this evening right here on JoyNews. And it's in 2 parts. So there's a second part that will be aired tomorrow, Tuesday as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so we also know that Justice Baidu has had a story earning him a nomination for the Thomson Reuters Foundation Award for Food Sustainability, scheduled to take place in Milan, Italy, on the 5th of December.
Yeah.
And
have you voted for him?
I have voted for him.
Okay,
yes.
I have as well. We're asking for votes for our colleague Justice Baidu for him to bring home that award.